In today's show, we're going to show you how to cut and sew a block from the Go Mix and Match 8-inch cube to create a block for the Quilts of Valor block drive. Quilters, welcome to AccuQuilt Live. I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. Thanks for joining us today. Emily's in the house. How are you, dear?
Here I am. I'm great. I have my Quilts of Valor blocks.
Let's see one of your blocks.
Sample for y'all. So I had so much fun putting this together. It was so quick and easy.
So fast.
Chose some fun scraps. I'm kind of obsessed with the center fabric since it's got a little bit of sparkle to it. But yeah, this was just great to put together. I already have 6 of them cut, sewed, and all ready to go. So very excited.
Excellent. All right, well, first of all, Jenny's watching, and it's her brother's happy birthday, so happy birthday to Jenny's brother. Mary is watching from McMinnville, Oregon, and Sharon is watching from Westminster, California. We're glad you're watching. And a shout out to my dad, because tomorrow is his happy birthday. All right, let's showcase some of the new projects from our intro video. First of all, do you not love this? I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
This is from Carrie H., and she shared it on Facebook, and that is our orange peel die.
Yes, gorgeous.
And isn't it beautiful?
It's so dynamic, and I love the different colors she's chosen, and just the whole vibe is just so much fun.
Right, because you can see like where the patterned orange peels are, it gives it a whole different look.
It really does. There's so many like secondary blocks coming in there, and just, yeah, the shapes are gorgeous.
Yep. All right, next we have Karen B. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Karen B., this is a fabulous, fabulous block. So she took our 2.5-inch strip die and cut diamonds to create this pattern. Karen, will you tell us where the pattern can be found? Because I'm sure everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
If you own a 2.5-inch strip die, isn't that stunning?
It's absolutely gorgeous.
It would be so pretty for like Veterans Day.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I love it.
Gorge.
All right, here is our photo of the day. So a few years ago, I was in Myrtle Beach, and that was where the Quilts of Valor National Conference was held. I taught a little class there, and we just had such a great time at the Quilts of Valor. So here is the question of the day. How many Quilts of Valor blocks have you made so far for the block drive? So Emily has made 6. I have made 12. Emily, what do you think the highest number is going to be? Should we guess?
Oh gosh, with our quilters and how ambitious they are, I would say like, I'm gonna say 25.
Perfect, perfect. So in the comments section, tell us how many Quilts of Valor blocks you've made. We would love to see them. Now, since today is a big day as we partner with Quilts of Valor, we're giving away a big prize. One lucky registered viewer will receive a Go Mix and Match 8-inch cube. Be sure and register for future events on the AccuQuilt event page for your chance to win. Emily will announce the winner of our registered viewer at the end of the show. I'm excited about that.
Me too.
All right. So the Go Quilts of Valor block is a free pattern at AccuQuilt.com. And it is called the Go Split Back Star block pattern, or you can just search in the search engine Quilts of Valor, okay? You will need the Go Mix and Match 8-inch cube to make this 12-inch finished block. And for those quilters who aren't able to make an entire quilt, Quilts of Valor has a block drive to collect 12-inch blocks that will be made into quilts. This year, that block can be made with our 8-inch cube. So I love the fact that, hey, you can't make a whole quilt, but hey, you can make blocks and you can send them to Quilts of Valor. And last year, there were thousands and thousands of blocks that they had gathered to create amazing quilts to be given during Quilts of Valor. So here's what you need. You need the Go Mix and Match 8-inch cube. You need a fat cord of red and white and blue fabrics. But you could be like me and Emily and just use up your scraps, or you go to your stash. And once your blocks are finished, here's the address you can mail them to. Don't forget this show is recorded, so you can come back and watch it if you need that address. So you can make 1 block or 100 blocks. I think this would be a great project for your quilt guild or maybe your church group. Maybe you're working with Girl Scouts or 4-H. Any group, boy, I feel like this would be a really fun project, right?
Completely, yeah, so much fun.
Then once you make your blocks, share them on our social media platforms using hashtag QOVF, so it stands for Quilts of Valor Foundation, split back star block. And then we can go in and look at them.
Fast.
I know, so many words, so many letters in there. I love it. All right, so quilters, in an effort to support Quilts of Valor Foundation, AccuQuilt will make a donation to Quilts of Valor for every mix and match 8-inch cube sold using the code 20 for QOVF. If you use that code, it's going to give you $65 off our 8-inch cube. Plus, we at AccuQuilt are going to donate $20 to Quilts of Valor for every one we sell. And this code is active until next Wednesday. So if you're on our site today and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I really want to get an 8-inch cube, just use that code and then you get a discount and we donate to Quilts of Valor. All right, so let's take a look at the Go Mix and Match 8-inch cube. So remember, the cube comes in 7 different sizes: a 4-inch finished block, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12-inch finished blocks. And the cube system's based on a 4-patch system. So let's open it up and see what's inside. All right. So we're going to pull out the skinny one first. This one has your mat and a pattern. Oh, our mat is missing, so I'll grab one. And all of our cubes come with that pattern book to help you get started. Right. And the shapes are the same in every cube. They're just different sizes. All right, so let's open this up. While I'm over here, I'm going to grab some mats.
Awesome.
All right, so let's open up our cube. And this is such a cool thing. So the cube system is based on a 4-patch system. So shape number 1 in every cube is a square. 4 of these sewn together, in this case, makes an 8-inch finished block. Don't think, oh, I'm getting the 8-inch cube, it's going to cut 8-inch blocks. There's some sewing involved, right? Now for this project, we're going to need our shape number 1, so I'm going to pull it out. Shape number 2 in every cube are smaller squares. There's actually blades here to cut those smaller squares. 4 of these sewn together equal shape number 1. And we have lots of videos on how to cut and sew with our cubes. Shape number 3 is my favorite shape. Emily, what is this?
Half square triangles.
And what's cool about half square triangles? What did we cut off?
The dog ears.
Yeah, we cut off the dog ears right here. Yep, so here's the blade, and so from here to here is that perfect 1/4 inch seam. We're also going to need this for our Quilts of Valor block. Now, shape number 4 in every cube are 1/4 square triangles. And just like our half square triangles, we've cut off the dog ears. There's blades here in the center. The 2-tone foam shows you where to lay your fabric. Keep in mind, quilters, when you're sewing 1/4 square triangles, you're going to sew the short ends first and then sew the long ends together. Whereas on half square triangles, you're going to sew the long ends together. We'll talk about it as we get there. Okay, Emily, shape number 5 in every cube is our all-time favorite shape. These are small half square triangles. These little triangles are like the workhorse of our cube system because they allow other shapes to become new shapes, right?
Sure do.
Okay, and we need 5. I'm just pulling out dies. Okay, shape number 6 is not just a square, but it's a square and point. It's meant to live on its tippy toes. What's the shape we're going to add on the outside of this, Emily, to create square and a square?
Those amazing half square triangles.
Yep, shape number 5. Shape number 7 is a parallelogram. Emily, have you ever cut parallelograms by hand?
I have not, and I will not endeavor to.
No, I'm never going to either because 1, I wouldn't know how to do the math for that, and 2, I don't think they'd ever be accurate. Remember, the AccuQuilt system is going to cut 6 layers of cotton 10 times faster every single time, 100% accurate, okay? And then shape number 8 in every cube are rectangles. 2 are on the die board, and we're going to need that for our block. All right?
Perfect.
All right, Emily, before we start laying out our fabric and talking about stuff,
Sure.
tell us how many blocks have people made?
Well, Kimberly has already made the record. Well, she's made what I predicted, 25.
Good job, Kimberly.
Which I'm like, okay. And then Linda has smashed it out of the park and made 43.
Oh my goodness, Linda, congratulations, that's awesome.
Amazing. And Miss Cindy has made 25 and is working on 25 more just today.
Just today, good job. Okay.
Amazing.
Listen, it's a great day to sit and sew blocks. I love it. All right, so let's look at our block here and let's talk about the shapes. All right. Now the cube system is based on a 4-patch. So this is shape number 1. And oh, see, I'm so glad I reviewed this before I cut here. Hold on. Shape number 1 is a square in every cube. And hold please while I grab this. There we go.
Prepared. I love it. You've got the bag system is in full force.
Listen, I tell you. Okay. All right, so shape number 1 in every cube is a square, and we're gonna need that shape number 1. Now, this finishes to a 4-inch square. So if we did a 4-patch, okay, 4 and 4 is 8. 4 and 4 is 8. That's why we use the 8-inch cube. But we're gonna make a 9-patch or a 3x3 grid. So 4 and 4 and 4 is 12. 4 and 4 and 4 is 12. So some of you are saying, hey, Pam, can I use my 12-inch cube to make this block? No, you can't, because the finished size would be how big, Emily, do you know?
To make a 9-patch?
Yeah. So
Ooh.
it would make a 12-inch block.
Right.
A 4-patch, but a 9-patch would make an 18-inch block.
There we go. Thank you for doing the math
Yes.
for me.
Math on a Wednesday. All right. So I need shape number 1, and I need a square here and in the center and the blue. So I have 6 layers because while I'm cutting.
Yeah, might as well.
Might as well. All right. And I'm going to lay out my fabric first. All right. The next shape that we're going to cut are half square triangles, big half square triangles.
Right.
Now, this is shape number 3. We're going to sew these half square triangles together. So my big pro tip is we're going to cut them together. Oh. So what I've done is I've measured from here to here, added a 1/4 inch on either side, and just rough cut with the fabric that size, okay? And then I put right sides together. So now when I go back and forth across the die, we call this fan folding.
So clever.
Just like this.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna cut those half square triangles, and they're already gonna be together for me.
Perfect.
All right, Emily, what shape is this right here in the corner?
Our little, our half square triangles?
These are little flying geese.
Oh yes, the flying geese, of course.
So what shapes do we need to make flying geese?
Oh gosh, it's either 3 or 4 or 4 and 5.
4 and 5, yep. So 4 are 1/4 square triangles. Here's our 1/4 square triangles. And since I'm not gonna sew these together, I'm just gonna cut them. All right, so I'm gonna get my 1/4 square triangles, okay? Then half square triangles are these white. So in every cube quilters, you have flying geese, just shapes 4 and 5.
Exactly.
Again, measured from here to here at a 1/4 inch on either side, rough cut rough cut with the fabric, fan fold back and forth.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, and then our last shape is right here. And these are rectangles. So I have 2 on the die board, and again, we're not gonna sew them together, so I'm just gonna lay the fabric here, okay? Now I have all my fabric laid out, so I'm gonna show you this cool trick because I'm using the Go Big. So I can actually cut 2 dies in one pass. So actually what I'm gonna do is kind of give one a little push to start, and then I will add the other, because we have little tails. Don't worry about these tails. The blades are in the dies, not in the cutter.
Exactly.
All right, so Emily, while I give this a little push to start, why don't you tell us how many blocks folks are making?
Sure. Let's see. So Kathy says hi from Ohio. She's made 10 scrappy blocks.
Excellent.
Jeanette says, she says she gave fabric to a friend who's very involved with Quilt of Valor in South Carolina and baby quilts for a Greenville NICU.
Oh, how fun.
Giving back to
See, I feel like that's a good thing too. Like if you can't make squares and you have fabric, go for it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love the collaboration between quilters, right? How
so much.
You know, it's such a community, and I think that's my favorite part about being a quilter now is just how everyone supports each other, and it's all about, you know, making your craft even better.
Yeah.
Miss Laura has in fact done 39 blocks.
Excellent, Laura.
And then we actually have a question as well. From Suzanne. Suzanne asks, Pam, can you make this block without the cube?
You could. And I believe at the Quilts of Valor Foundation page, there are instructions on how to do it. So
Perfect.
you would just need to cut squares and big half square triangles and small half square triangles and quarter square triangles. Yeah, absolutely you can.
But if you have the cube.
But today, cubes are on sale.
Exactly.
Use that code and then everybody wins.
Love
Okay? And I'm just taking all my fabric, or my little mats off and just getting my fabric ready to prep. Because then you can just chain piece for days.
Right. And then Carrie wants to clarify, what number die was the last rectangle? Wasn't that number 8?
8. Yep.
I love that.
Okay. All right, so now I have all my fabric cut. I'm gonna move this out of the way. I love that our quilters are making so many blocks.
I know. I can't wait to hear the total of, you know, how many they end up having at the end. This is so much fun.
Yeah. Last year we partnered with them. We wrote the pattern for them, but we didn't do like a show with them. And so it'll be fun to see. All right, so this is a very hot iron. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start by creating our flying geese units, okay?
Perfect.
So here's our center. So we have all of these cut. So we need 2 blue flying geese, 2 blue flying geese, and 2 red flying geese for every block. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just lay out my quarter square triangles. I love this fabric.
Oh, and I like how you lay this out too. You've actually gotten me into laying it out the way that you do because it's just so much faster.
I think it is, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I can just lay it out on my mat and just chain piece for days.
Exactly. It's like the little pressing mats your design board right now.
Yes, yes. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sew, I always start with the right side, and I'm gonna sew it together, and look at how perfect this is gonna come together because we cut off the dog ears. So there's just that little bit of tip, but that's okay. From here to here is a 1/4 inch seam, okay?
Gorgeous.
So I'm just gonna start, and then Emily, while I'm doing this, hey, quilters, if you have questions, you can ask Emily.
Yeah, pop
And then be sure and tell us how many blocks you've made.
Yes, let us know, let us know. We actually have, oops, if my thing will scroll here. Miss Thea has made, she's made 4 total complete quilts.
Oh my goodness, so I wonder how many blocks she had.
Oh my goodness,
Here,
I wonder how many they did. That's so cool.
Tell us how many blocks you made in those quilts, Thea.
Yes, please. Let's see. Oh, Janet's wondering, is it okay to have a wool mat on the cutting mat?
Yeah. Oh, we have that question a lot. So here's my rotary cutting mat is underneath. And I have my wool mat on because I do not use steam.
Right.
If you use steam, then what's gonna happen is that hot steam is gonna go through your wool mat and it's gonna warp your little green mat underneath.
Oh, ruh-roh.
Yeah, I feel like that's not a good thing.
Right. Let's see.
But that's a great question.
Joy has a question here. She says,
Okay.
I love the block. I've cut 8 blocks from scraps.
Yay!
And she's wondering, after cutting and piecing, I discovered that the white on white has fusible on it. I didn't know because I didn't have paper. Can they still be used?
Oh, just on the back?
Yeah, she's got
Yeah,
fusible on there.
gosh. You know what? I would reach out to Quilts of Valor Foundation
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
and just say, hey guys, I made these couple of blocks and realized these are fusible. I think it's probably going to be okay, but they will give you the yay or nay.
Right.
Not our party. We're just participants. We're just guests. Yeah. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to press away. And okay, everybody asked me this. Yes, I always start from the back. Okay, I'm going to press away. And the reason I start from the back is because I'm pressing towards that half square triangle.
Nice.
Okay. This would be great if you had our clappers. You could use those to kind of keep those down, those seams.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just going to press. And I tell you, we have these little irons in our wool mats on our website. I have one by my sewing machine every day for this reason.
Right.
Like when you're sewing and you need to press some half square triangles. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side the exact same way. And because we've cut off the dog ears, you're going to have a perfect 1/4 inch seam there at the top.
Love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Emily, do we have questions or people's numbers?
Well, let's see if we have numbers. I'm not seeing any more, but folks, just let us know in the comments how many you've done so far, and I'd be happy to announce it. Oh, Judy says she's going to suggest making blocks to her students, though. She teaches sewing.
Oh, there you go, Judy. Good job.
Thanks for spreading the word for us.
Yes, we love that.
And then, oh, Gwen's wondering, too, what is the finish size of this quilt? I think they're going to do a lot of them, aren't they?
Well, I feel like it's going to be like 5 blocks, so it's 12 times 5, 72? 70?
Yeah, 70, maybe?
70. So I bet they're 70 by 70.
Nice.
I don't know. That's a great question, though.
That is a good question.
Okay.
Maybe some sashing, what have you, on a...
Yeah, it depends, I think. But there's a whole group of people that all they do is sew blocks into quilts.
Exactly.
And blessings on their head, because boy, howdy, that's pretty exciting.
Indeed.
Okay. All right, so I'm just sewing, making flying geese for days.
Love it. Well, and we were just talking about the pressing mat. You know, I love the size of it because it's like, I don't know, but I mean, we obviously know that there are tons of quilters out there who have like entire rooms and she sheds and
Oh, yes.
you know, things like that devoted to their quilting craft. I am on my small dining room table, which is not quite the size of the table you work on. So
Yes.
with the sewing machine and, you know, with your cutter, it you know, the space adds
Right.
up over time. And that pressing mat, it's just perfect because I put it like right on the corner and I've got my little pressing station. It's just,
Yeah,
boy, howdy,
I
it's
have
made life
taken,
easy.
well, downstairs is where I sew because when it's cool in the summer and warm in the winter. But we had friends over for the 4th of July, and so I actually like had to clean off the dining room table.
I know, right? I do the same thing. Yeah, the dining room table
My
is
husband's
quilting.
like, hey, don't forget. And I was like, what? You want me to do what? I didn't have very much, but it was enough to go, oh, yes, I should do that.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, so look at this, quilters. I'm going to show you because these points are perfect. So right here, this is that 1/4 inch seam, right? So make sure you don't stress and say, oh my gosh, I've sewn these wrong. No, it's supposed to have that little bit there. Okay, next we're going to sew the rectangles to the bottom. All right, so now I just need 2 of my reds and then 2 of my blues. And I have to tell you, Emily, well, I've been gone a lot, but I've not added to the dining room table. So I'm just keeping my stuff downstairs for the minute.
I love it.
Well, give it time.
Exactly, it'll come back.
It'll come back. It'll be fine.
It always does.
Well, when Oakley comes to sew with me, we sew in the dining room because we can put 2 sewing machines up. And
That's fun.
she's not distracted.
Exactly. No,
All right, don't forget, quilters. If you're purchasing that cube today, use the code. So we donate to Quilts of Valor, and you get $65 off the 8-inch cube.
Yeah, that's a pretty great deal.
And don't forget, all of our videos live on our Facebook and YouTube and website platforms. So you can always go back and re-watch our shows.
Yep.
And I was in Seattle last week at Issaquah Sewing. Huge shout out to all the quilters who came. We had a great time. And I have to tell you, some of them, I would bet like 3 or 4 of them said they watch from work.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, oh, we watch from work. We turn on our headphones. I was like, there you go. That's what we love.
I love that.
Quilter's Craft there. And for those of you who live in the Phoenix, Tempe area, where it is currently 120.
Oh my goodness.
I'm headed there tomorrow for an event at Mole Queen Sewing. They're one of our retailers in Tempe. I'm at the Tempe store. So come hang out with me. It'll be fun. All right, so now I'm going to press towards that rectangle so that I don't have a lot of bulk. So Emily, the question we get all the time is, which AccuQuilt products and dyes should I buy first?
Ooh, well, especially if you are looking to participate in this Quilts of Valor exercise and campaign here, the Ready, Set, Go is going to be the perfect way to get started, because it comes with not only our Go cutter, it comes with the 8-inch cube seen here, as well as the 2.5-inch, 2-inch finished strip die that's perfect for your binding and jelly rolls, and the cutting mats to go along with. So you're literally just ready to go immediately out of the box. As long as you got fabric, you're sailing smooth.
You're just all ready. It's just fabulous.
Exactly.
And I think that that's what you need, right? You need everything all together in one place. Don't forget, we have lots of videos on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page on how to use strip dies, how to use cubes. Get you going. I'm going to just tell you to just find some fabric and just start cutting.
Exactly.
All right, so now let's sew our red and blue half square triangles together. I'm going to give it a little press here. And look, see, they're already cut together, so now I can just take them to my sewing machine and chain piece.
Perfect.
I do love a good chain piece.
Oh, Pam, Debbie says she's going to be, she's registered for the event and she's traveling 3 hours just to meet you.
Oh, Debbie, listen, we'll take a picture together. That's fun. Debbie, make sure you have plenty of water and snacks in your car as you drive across the Arizona desert.
Indeed. Indeed. Oh, Wendy wants to know where you got your fabric, Pam. Do you know remember what line it is?
I don't. Boy, you asked me that last week too, and I couldn't remember.
Pam just has a gift, and plus you go so many places, it's hard to keep track of where you get all this.
Yeah, I want to think that we got these here at our local quilt store, but hey, hold on. If you give me 10 seconds, I can see if we have, if it has.
Maybe the salvage will tell us.
Yes, hold please. This is why the lovely Erica cuts off her salvages and saves them. So when people ask her, oh, what fabric line is that? She goes, oh, she sounds intelligent instead of like, oh my gosh. Okay, it's called 100 Years, created by Andover Fabrics.
Perfect.
And it came out last year in 2023. Our good friends at Andover. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so now I've sewn, and now I'm going to press my half square triangles open. I'm just going to press to the dark side. In this case, I'm going to call that blue. And then we're just ready to make our block, to sew our block. So quilters, I would tell you to do exactly what we did today. Cut a whole bunch of pieces, and then just do maybe 2 blocks at a time. Just cut your half square triangles and those kind of things. You'll be great. All right, do we have questions, Emily, before I start laying this out?
And we have the sweetest comment from Stan J.
Hi, Stan.
Stan says, this might not be Quilt of Valor related, but I want to thank AccuQuilt for this system. I teach quilting as a volunteer for a community charity center for low-income families. I bring my Go Baby and my Go Big, and the kiddos enjoy cutting out the fabric shapes and sewing them together. Bless you guys.
Oh, Stan, okay, that made our whole day. Thank you for sharing that.
It's wonderful.
And kudos to you for teaching little people how to sew.
Yeah.
I feel like that is such a a valuable gift. We should be teaching the next generation of quilters to quilt.
Absolutely.
Good job, Stan. Thank you for sharing that. All right, now I'm gonna lay out my little rows, and then we're just gonna sew our rows together. So here's our little units that we're gonna make. And, all right, Emily, do we have more people telling us how many blocks they've made? I just feel like so many people are making so many blocks.
Oh my goodness, Dawn has 35 and has 20 already cut out and ready to go. She's just gotta sew them together.
Listen, I feel like if you live in Phoenix, where it's 120, you should not go out today. You should just all stay in and sew.
Exactly. Heck, I think it's pretty hot all over the country right now.
It is hot over the country.
It's a great time to just,
Here in the great state of Nebraska, it's going to be a little warm as well. Okay, so look how I've laid out my rows. And I try really hard to lay out my rows because especially here where you're doing the flying geese, you don't want to sew that backwards.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm just going to sew my pieces together, but I'm going to start here in the middle. Normally I don't, but here's what I'm going to show you how to do. Here. I'll do it on this side so you can see the red.
Right.
All right, when I sew my flying geese to this square, I'm gonna lay the flying geese on top because then I can see where it's stitched.
Right.
And then when I open it, then it will come to that perfect 1/4 inch seam. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so we'll start there. I'm loving all of these blocks that folks are making.
Oh, ooh, and we do have a couple questions coming in as well.
Okay.
Fun. Okay. So Steve from North Carolina is wondering, did you folks cut the rough fabric strips used in the 8-inch cube dies with a 5-inch strip die?
I'm going to tell you no. I measured each shape individually and rough cut it with a rotary cutter and a ruler.
Sure.
But I see where you're going with that. But not all the shapes in the 8-inch cube. Some of them need a 5.5 inch.
Right.
Right? They don't all just need 5 inches. But I see where you're going with that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. And we had a question as well, wondering if which is the best. Paulette is asking which cube is the best to mix with the 9-inch.
Oh, you know what? I had that question this weekend. I'm going to tell you, I love the 6-inch cube to go with the 9 because the 6-inch cube can make 9-inch blocks.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah, I do love that how our cubes work together to create all these new shapes and just let your creativity run wild.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Oh, Margaret wants to clarify, does the star have to be a white solid?
Oh, no.
Really?
No. Are you thinking like a patterned white?
I'm thinking so. I mean, I think we've both definitely done some blocks with some fun pattern in it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Absolutely.
Go for it. And don't forget to share your blocks on her social media because I would love to see that. It just happens that I have just a lot of solid white.
Sure, yeah.
You know, we use it here in the studio and I use it at home.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I ended up finding, it was so funny, Pam, I was gifted like literally bags of fabric from a friend whose grandmother had passed away and they didn't sew. So they said, do you want, you know, this literally 3 bags full of fabric. And it turned out there was a white, not quite solid, but it has stars in it.
Oh, how
So it was
fun.
like, how perfect was that for the Quilts of Valor? So that was what I used in all the other ones.
I do love a good white on white print.
Agreed.
Right? Okay.
Definitely.
Get all my pieces here. Oh, I tell you funny. So I was packing for Issaquah Sewing last week.
Yeah.
And Oakley was over and I was going through my scraps because we were teaching like a little scrap class. And Oakley said, Lola, that is not our good grunge, right?
Oh, gosh.
And I said, It is not my good grunge, but sure, we'll pretend like it's yours too.
Right.
She was very concerned that I was leaving with the good grunge. Okay, so now look.
I think we need to flip the center row.
Oh, see, this is why you're here to help me.
Aha.
Okay, so look. See how they came together? That's because I sewed on the back to the front. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press in opposite directions so that my rows will nest.
Gorgeous.
I know, it's just beautiful. Good job, Andover, for making beautiful fabric.
Ooh, speaking of littles, Nancy has a granddaughter that loves it when she's making a quilt because she gets to use the Go Big.
Oh, listen, the grandchildren at my house and at Erica's house know all about the Go Big electric fabric cutter.
Exactly.
I think it's just perfect for kids because they can cut scraps and cut craft foam.
I know, right? All of our cutters are just so,
Felt, all of those things.
Exactly. Yeah, my friend has a niece, and I texted her the other day. I said the Gomi's on sale for $99, just in case, with all those fun applique shapes and.
Right, because over 70% of our dies fit through that little Gomi.
They sure do.
So if you're just a crafter, or if you're like new to AccuQuilt, that 8-inch cube will fit through that Gomi.
Sure will.
All right, my rows are ready, and I'm going to sew my rows together. All right, so Emily, do we have more questions or numbers of blocks?
Let's see. Oh, Peggy wants to know what cube coordinates best with the 12-inch cube.
Oh, so what would you say to her?
I think the 4 and the 6 are compatible.
Right, and the 8. Yep.
My goodness, the 12-inch just goes with everything.
Right. I know lots of people, because this, for example, is a perfect example of how you made a 12-inch block with your 8-inch cube.
Right.
And I feel like so many people have the Ready, Set, Go, which comes with that 8-inch cube. Mm-hmm. So the 12-inch cube is a perfect companion.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, Patty wonders, could you clarify a little bit what you meant by sewing back to front?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So here's my flying geese unit. Here, I'll show you on this one. It's better. Okay. Here's my flying geese unit. I laid it on the white so that this is how I sewed. Mm-hmm. So this is the back of the flying geese. But as I stitch here, then I can see where the stitches are that I made the point.
Gotcha.
And that's how those points are going to come together perfectly. See that? Now this looks wonky. It is not. There's like a white star there. I thought, wait, I have done this. Now, Emily, did you finish your pieces for the last AQS Quilt-Along?
For the Morning Star?
Yes.
I have all of my, okay, so I have about 90% of my blocks done. I just have to finish, because I've been doing them in the piles, kind of similarly to how you do it.
Yes.
And so I've got all of the triangles sewn
Excellent.
For the Morning Star. I just need to piece those sections together to get them to be all set and ready to go. So
excellent.
I'm excited.
Well, the lovely Erica, I think she's supposed to join us today so we can announce like what we're doing next. But
wait.
I haven't seen her smiling face yet, so I hope she didn't forget. We'll see if
she'll be here. I'm excited.
Because I brought my fabric that I'm going to use. I'm really excited about it.
Oh my gosh, you've already picked out your fabric and everything.
Oh, listen. Any chance to go to a fabric store? You bet.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here we go, quilters. All right, so look at this, how fun this block is. Oh my gosh, it has so many strings.
Look at that.
Okay, so we talked, and I made it in less than 30 minutes. Look at that, ta-da, ta-da. Thank you, Greg.
Gorgeous.
All right, so look at how fun that is. So I'm just gonna add it to my pile, and I'm just gonna mail them all at once to Quilts of Valor.
Yeah.
Okay, we have one more show where we're gonna talk about this particular block and how to make it. But keep in mind, quilters, that Quilts of Valor, they're making quilts all the time. Okay, so if you have a whole bunch, maybe you want to make, you know, if you have 25 or more, I would think you would probably want to do 25 or more. You might want to mail those.
Yes.
All right, don't forget to share your blocks with us on all of our social media platforms. Use that hashtag AQSews, and then we can comment on them and then send them off to be part of the presentation quilt. Well, here I am. I have my fabric. Brock, any idea if Erica's joining us?
I'm here.
Oh, gosh. Hi.
There she is.
Imagine that. Okay.
Well, I had fabric, I had a new pattern, and I was playing with some of these new June Taylor products.
I know. Look at this.
Look at this.
This is the quilter's cut and press, and we have some like sticks and glue sticks and fabric. This is fabric. So we now carry June Taylor products.
Yes.
And next week's show on Tuesday, we're going to show you how to cut, and so we're going to make placemats for days.
So here's the thing. Look at this. We could rough cut, we could prep our fabric on one side, and then you press it on the other.
Isn't that fabulous?
That is so cool.
And
this is great for going to retreats.
I think the project we're making next week uses 2.5-inch strips, so you could cut them, you spray them with the spray starch, cut them on your 2.5-inch strip die, and then you'll be all ready to go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, no wonder
Isn't
she
that
was
fun?
late. Yeah,
Okay,
she got
sorry.
distracted. It's
And
okay.
I was sewing because I wanted to have some blocks to
Yes.
share
Oh, boy.
for the new quilt-along.
And
And
it's-
some of you clever quilters guessed already
Figured it out.
what the pattern is.
Yes.
Where'd you put the?
It's under.
Oh,
It's right over
okay.
there.
Oh, look, June Taylor fabric glue sticks.
Yes.
There's a couple of those. Keep those. We want those.
We want those.
Oh, here's a table runner.
Yep.
Here.
We made with our 2.5-inch strip dies.
Right. Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'll hold it and you
All
talk.
right. Are you ready?
I'm so excited.
Okay,
Boy.
some of you guessed, so here now you get to find out if you were right.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
This-
We're gonna make the Go Shoe Fly Spin Throw Quilt, and here it is. Isn't it
It's
gorgeous?
fabulous.
We are so excited about this
All
project.
right, so Erica, talk about the two different blocks. There's a shoe fly block
Right.
and a spin block.
Erica, the viewers are having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Can you talk into either
Oh.
Pam's microphone?
Yes.
Or?
I
Here.
didn't get a microphone.
It's
Here.
okay. I'll hold it and you
I'll
talk.
cozy
Oh,
up
here,
to
here,
Pam.
We can do it like this.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, then we'll stand close. I'll put my head on her shoulder.
I know, because we
Okay.
like each other.
So let's look at these blocks. So here is our shoe fly block, okay?
Right.
Really classic block. Can you hear? I think you can probably hear me better now.
Yes,
So
I'm sure.
here's a classic shoe fly block,
Yes.
and here is our spin block.
And they're both made with the 5-inch
They're
cube.
both made with the 5-inch cube, but just like you were talking about, just like Pam was today making 9 patches with her 8-inch cube, this is a 9 patch that we've made with our 5-inch cube.
So it's going to finish to 7.5 inches.
That's right.
I know, we hardly ever make 7.5
We
inch
hardly
blocks.
ever do, but this is so fun. So this pattern uses our 5-inch cube, mix and match cube, and the 5-inch companion corners.
But you need this little bow tie
This
block.
little bow tie piece here.
And
this
quilters-
little unit.
Because we love you, the lovely Erica has written this pattern for the 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9-inch cubes.
That's right. Now,
10 and 12 is just going to be too
it's going to be
too
so big because if you use the 10-inch cube, your blocks are going to be 15 inches.
Yeah, and you need a bunch of them.
And if you use the 12, it's going to be, what did we find out on the last?
18 inches.
18 inches.
Yeah.
It's going to be really big. And if you use fewer, you could use fewer blocks, you won't see all the secondary designs as much. It's really
Right.
going to change it up. So we just have those available. You can find those on today's blog.
Yes.
But what else do we have, Pam?
We have fabric.
We have fabric. We have rotary cutting directions, and those
Oh,
are going to be
yes.
on the blog as
I
well.
forgot about those.
So
Yes.
yeah,
We do.
Our friends at AQS have written traditional rotary cutting directions for you as
Yeah.
well, because we want everybody to be able to jump in and play. But having started cutting out my pieces,
Yes.
I'd pick up a Ready, Set, Go or a Go Me and an 8-inch cube and companion and get started with die cutting it because there are a lot of pieces.
There are a lot of pieces. And be sure and post your fabric. Okay, can I show my fabric?
Yes, you may show your fabric.
This never happens.
You are following the pattern.
I am following the pattern and the colorway. So here's my light gray and my dark gray, and I'm gonna just back it in white. But is this not gorgeous fabric? This is from our good friends at Northcott Fabric.
So are you gonna use a solid white? Or have you found a white yet?
I'm gonna use a solid white.
Cool.
Though I could use this light gray.
This is Stonehenge by Northcott.
I could use this light gray as my background, and then I could cut this as the dark, and then have extra.
Have something else or
Yes. I don't know, but I just found fabric and I was super excited, and I called Erica and said, "Listen, I already found my fabric."
She
okay,
did.
but Erica also found her
fabric too. So, and I'm going a little rogue. You want to bring that back real quick?
Gosh, yes. I just thought you
Don't
just want to
leave me.
see. No, I just thought people
So-
wanted to see your fabric.
Well, they do, I'm sure. But I'm the one going rogue this time, I'm
is.
happy to announce. So I'm going to use this pink, and I'm using the Good Grunge.
The good grunge that we can't
The
give away.
Good Grunge.
Yes.
So I'm going to use, this is called Ballet Slipper. Isn't
Isn't
that
it beautiful?
the best name ever? In place of the red. I'm going to be using this light gray instead of the white.
Yes.
And then this sage green is going to be in place of the gray.
Isn't that beautiful?
And then for my outer border, I'm going to pop the white in place of the red, and then put pink on the outside.
Now, there's a method to Erica's madness. Can you share this?
There is. I can.
We can.
I can.
Okay.
I have a new little grandbaby coming, and it's a girl.
She has all these boys. She has one granddaughter and 3 grandsons.
That's right. So we've got another girl joining the team, my daughter
Joining
Erin.
the team. Joining the team at Christmas.
Joining the team.
On Christmas.
So the Wagoner team is going to
Yes.
welcome a little girl to go along with those 3 little boys that they've got. So,
All right, so show us your blocks, because
Okay.
I'm loving this fabric.
So here's my shoe fly block. Right there. We'll just
there.
lay it there.
And it's supposed to be soft. You're not going to be able to see that contrast very much.
I do not have a high contrast because I'm making this for a baby girl. And then here is
Look at that
my
sage.
spin block.
Gosh, I love that.
That
Lovely.
sage. She's not coming to join us until December,
Yes.
and her room is already set up. Her mother has assembled the crib and built the dresser
Got to do those
with
while you're feeling
special
good.
little gold bow drawer
Yes.
knobs, and got the curtains. So I already had my game plan laid
There
out.
you go. That's exciting.
So we're excited.
All right, so be sure and share your fabric with us on the AQS Facebook Project Parade Facebook page.
AQS Quilting Project Parade Facebook group.
Use the hashtag AQSews, and then Eric and I can go in and just gush over your fabric. We're super excited. And next, not this Wednesday, not tomorrow, but a week from Wednesday, we're going to show you how to cut your pieces, and we're going to start working on this.
Yes, we are. We can't wait.
All right. Thanks for coming and showing us everything.
Okay. Can I go back and sew now?
No, you have to wait till the end of the show.
Okay.
All right, Emily's going to announce the winner of our AQ Live. They won an 8-inch mix and match cube.
Ooh.
Ooh, oh boy. All right, folks, if I could get a drum roll, please. Our winner today is Ruth G. from Cedarburg, Wisconsin.
Congratulations, Ruth. All right, quilters, be sure to check out the AccuQuilt website for some great deals, including deals on cubes. Check out our June Taylor product. It's
Yes.
brand new. And Erica, this month's die to try is the Go Tea Party die, but what happened?
You bought them all.
All of
We're
them.
sold out. But you can check with your local retailer, and they may still have some.
Right.
You can also go to AccuQuilt's website and vote to bring it back as a permanent member of the die family.
We will never hear the end of it from Summer Santa.
Never.
Never. All right, on behalf of everyone who's offsite, so we have Ray and Morgan and
Caitlin?
Katie, and is Lauren helping?
We have Courtney.
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 I always forget Courtney. I'm
Hang on,
sorry.
why did I call her?
And
Sorry,
here,
Courtney.
here in the Dream Studio, we have Greg and Kenyon and Brock and Emily, and of course, the lovely Erica. On behalf of all of us, we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. To learn more about your quilting craft, be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for live events every Tuesday and Wednesday. You can check out the events page on the AccuQuilt website for more details on upcoming shows. And if you're looking for even more inspiration, visit our blog for exclusive tutorials filled with tips and tricks. And remember, at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time so you can quilt more. Come by every Tuesday at 12 noon Central Time for more lunch parties and trunk shows. Next time, we'll be sharing an exclusive look at some of the new June Taylor products. We can't wait to see you there. And be sure to join Erica tomorrow on AccuQuilt Live as she's going to show you how to cut and sew some tree skirts and make some ornaments.